What's up everybody, D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we are going to be checking out the Funko figures for Godzilla vs. Kong. Now, personally myself, I'm not a big Funko collector, but I do go out of my way to try and track down the Godzilla vs. Kong ones. There are a lot that I'm missing. I'm not entirely sure how many have been produced, but I know there's a few exclusive ones. There's some Neon Hong Kong ones, I think. Maybe I'm making those up, but I think there are. And then there's a giant Godzilla that I have been trying very hard to track down, and I'm just not having much luck finding him. Aside from the current line, the only other Godzilla and Kong stuff I have, or the other only Funko stuff that I have aside from like one or two other random characters. Generally, I don't collect Funko stuff, but I did pick up the previous releases for Godzilla and Kong. This is their Godzilla, and then this was their Kong 2017 for Kong Skull Island. This one's just like generic Heisei-ish Godzilla. Pretty cool. And then of course Kong. And I like that he has the helicopter. I believe this was the only one they released for Kong Skull Island. Maybe they released another, but I think it was just him. Now, like I said, I wasn't able to go track down all of the Godzilla vs. Kong pop figures. There are still a few that I have left to go and find, and I do plan on trying to grab them. But I was able to get the entire original line of like normal pop figures. So we'll be checking those out today. Before we do, let's check out another one of the Godzilla vs. Kong energy drinks. I have two left, so I gotta use them in some video. I forget how good they are. Alright, now we're energized, let's get into it! Let's start out with the tiny Godzilla and Kong Pop Funko figures. Ironically, this is the only Funko Pop that's just called Kong that's not huge. Alright, so here you can check them out in the packaging, and you can see the packaging. Oh, that's kind of fun when you put them side by side. You can create the Godzilla vs. Kong logo. That's cool, I like that. I like that they're facing the proper directions to be able to do that. So there you go, you've got the nice packaging with the cool Godzilla vs. Kong banner built in. Now they're facing the wrong way. But you got the banner built in, you know, the iconic banner. This is the highly rendered version of it that we have built in, so that's pretty sweet. And then of course you just got like the cool orange that bleeds into blue on the box, so they look nice. Let's start out with Kong because Team Kong all the way. So here you go, we got Kong out and ready. Now let's get Godzilla out. There you go, Godzilla and Kong are freed. Now I'm sure I'll have more to say about the bigger ones because these are just smaller versions of bigger figures, but these do look really nice. They've got really nice sculpts, good paint. I really like the axe for Kong. You can see the scarring on his chest. Godzilla's got really nice detailing as well in the chest, and the paint looks really nice. The decision to give Kong orange eyes was really cool. It fits his color scheme, but it also just looks really nice. For really tiny keychains, these are really not bad. They're pretty solid. And on the feet, you got the copyright info. I'm not really going to be rating these or anything because they're just pop figures, so they're not supposed to be rated or anything like that. They're just collectibles to look nice on a shelf. My personal theory is that the reason Funko Pops are so popular is because they are just supposed to be decoration. I think there's a stigma around if you were to collect NECA figures or something like that, things that are typically referred to as like toys or figures. I think there's a little bit more of a stigma around like the idea that you're getting a toy and the toys are supposed to be played with by children, whereas pops are collectibles. They're little plastic things meant for the shelf. That's what they're meant for. It's not even that they're more affordable, because to collect the Godzilla vs. Kong line, I could buy more Monster Arts Godzilla figures. So it's not like it's cheaper. And some pop figures are very expensive. I just think it's the idea that they're these collectibles made for the shelves, and so people kind of buy into that, and then therefore they're more acceptable for people to collect. Pops are really the most mainstream toys I can think of, or collectibles or figures that I can think of that people buy. They're also like the only ones that I can think of that people my age typically collect, who are just random casual fans of franchises. So that's my theory on why these guys are so successful in the stores. And that's also why I'm not really going to be rating them, because they are meant for the shelf only, and they're gonna look nice on the shelf. They do what they do. They do have the very cartoonish kind of chibi art style, which I know some people don't really like. Some people like their things to be a little more movie accurate, but whatever. There's loads of other stuff in that market. All right, jumping into the bigger Godzilla and then the most normal Kong that we have. It's the most normal one. It's not called Kong, it's the battle ready Kong. I don't really have to talk too much about the packaging here. You got the little Godzilla peeking up. That's a Funko thing. That's how you can tell if you're looking at the top of the box which figure you're looking at. It's normal Godzilla with normal eyes, so it's the normal Godzilla. I do like that they have the little cartoony version looking here on the side, and they got a side profile showing what the little figure looks like. Then again, just Godzilla Godzilla with the little eyes popping up. And then on the back, it's the collect them all. It's the original run. Again, I did collect all of them, except I'm still looking for the big Godzilla. As for Godzilla, he looks really nice. It's just a bigger version of the smaller Funko one that we just unboxed. It's got really nice detailing all throughout, especially in the dorsal spines here. I like the skin texturing around here as well. It looks really nice, and I really like what they do here on the legs. They keep the actual texture of Godzilla from the movie intact pretty well. Same with on the chest here. It looks really nice. Again, you got the copyright info on the bottom, but it's not as big and bold and in your face as it is on the smaller keychains. I really like the way the tail wraps. It's a nice look for the tail. It's a cool design, and it saves shelf space, so he's not taking up too much space. And it's also cool because I always like when Godzilla's tail bends. He's got a cool pose. He doesn't look too intimidating, but I do like the stance. It's a little more interesting than just standing straight up, so that's really cool. It's a different approach to what they took with the other Godzilla. Also, this one's bigger than this, so it's a different scale, but this Godzilla is a little different. First of all, this one just looks a little more cartoony and goofy. This one looks like the movie, but this one's just kind of got a little bit more of a generic pose, just kind of standing up looking at you. I do like the tail on that though. So I really like this. Interestingly, as I thought going in, I thought this small one was just going to be a smaller version of the big one, but mirrored. I thought they were just going to be kind of reversed. Actually, comparing them side by side, they're pretty different. Their hands are in different poses, their mouths are different, and they're also flipped from each other. It's pretty cool that Funko didn't just cut the corner and shrink down the bigger one for the smaller keychain. They actually made a new sculpt for it. That being said, I do still believe that the smaller keychain version of Godzilla is the bigger version of Godzilla that comes in the 10-inch scale. So it's not a completely unique design, it's just cool that they didn't reuse the same design for all three Godzillas. Alright, next up we have the Battle Ready Kong. Again, you've just got the orange eyes here, the kind of battle ready pose. Again, you got the image here, eyes popped up here, and then the back of the box. As for Kong, it's a pretty neat design. He does have a very strong stance and he looks really cool. He is battle ready after all. I appreciate that you can turn the head from side to side. That's nice. It's a good sculpt here on the face. I really like what they do here. Again, the orange eyes I think is a really cool touch. I actually really appreciate that. You got the nice scarring on the chest, and then there's actually really nice fur texturing going on, specifically when you're not on the head, specifically in the body. He's got very muscular looking legs. The feet are fine again. So I really like this. I think that this one's pretty solid. And he goes really well with the Godzilla as well. Again, they're kind of the set. These two should go together in my opinion. Comparing him to his 2017 counterpart, the new one is really a lot better. The face looks much better on the new one. This one does have the helicopter and it's a little bigger, but overall I really prefer the new one. I think it has a much better color. It looks more like the movie. This one's a little too bright. This one also looks much more cartoony than this one. This one's going for a little bit more movie accuracy, and then the texturing is much different as well. The new one has a lot better texturing than the old one. So I think it's a pretty big improvement over what we've gotten previously. Alright, the next set, I'm going to call these the Hong Kong fight set, even though these aren't like the neon variants, which I'm pretty sure do exist. You've got Heat Ray Godzilla and then Battle Scarred Kong. The box for Heat Ray Godzilla has the distinction of having the blue eyes and then the atomic breath coming out of the mouth, but it's pretty similar to all the other Funko boxes. This is by far the heavier of the two Godzillas, and he's got a different pose as well. His arms are in different positions, his tail's in a bit different of a position, and his face is obviously different. So in addition to the blue eyes, he's also got a blue mouth, kind of like what happens to me when I drink that energy drink. And then I really like the blue going all the way up through the spines on the back. Again, I think they do a really good job here with the texturing on Godzilla's chest. I actually think they do a better job on this one than they do on the other. The legs are really cool as well, and I really like the skin texturing all up the back here. And then even in the dorsal spines, you do see that there's some texturing there. The face is again really good. So I think these figures are surprisingly well detailed. As for the atomic breath, it's kind of got a weird pose, but it's supposed to be shooting into the ground, so it's not, I guess you can't really pose it any other direction than shooting down, otherwise it'll look silly. And much like on NECA, there's a little thing in the back of his mouth that you can stick the atomic breath into so that it can hold position. The atomic breath is a little translucent, which is pretty cool, so light can pass through it. You guys can see it here. That's pretty cool. And that does give it a really nice feel to it. I also like the explosion. It's not just a concentrated beam. It has a little bit more texture like it does in the movie. So there you go. There's Godzilla shooting the atomic breath, and it looks really good. Just for a quick side-by-side to the other Godzilla, there they are together. Unfortunately, my Battle Scarred Kong box is all beaten up. It was the only one they had at the store, so I had to grab it. Again, this one's just got the distinction. He's got the no orange eyes, and then on the front he's got the scarring, same with on the side, and then, you know, same thing here, and then the back of the box. You guys know the drill. So the reason I consider this one to be the Hong Kong Kong is obviously because he does have the battle scars on the chest that Godzilla gives him, unfortunately, in the most unfortunate scene in cinema history, and then he's also holding on to the crane that he throws at Godzilla, or to distract Godzilla. I actually really like this Kong. I think this is a very good one. I think it's better than the other one. I like the new battle scars on the chest. I like that they're different colors than the last last ones. These are a little more bloody and fresh, much like they are in the movie. Again, he's just got this very strong posture, and I really like the face here. The beard is a little more defined on this figure as well, and I also never noticed in the movie, maybe he has them, maybe he doesn't, these little scars on his nose. But again, the head's not as detailed as the rest of the body. The body's got this really nice fur texturing, and they even put a lot of really good detailing into the crane. So even the crane looks a little better than I would expect it to. But again, I just really like the strong pose on this guy, and he looks really nice. Here's a quick side-by-side of the two Kongs. This one's also got like weird slits in the eyes so that they're not pure orange. That's kind of strange, but this one's just got the pure black eyes. And then here are the two Hong Kong fighting variants together. Finally, to end off Funko's line, I don't know why they didn't produce a battle-scarred Godzilla. They sure could have, but they didn't. Godzilla takes some damage in the movie. They could have put some scars on him. Finally, we have another Kong. This one is the Kong with the battle axe. So I kind of put this with Mechagodzilla because that's what he uses to defeat him. And then Mechagodzilla. Again, to quickly go over the box, different Kong on the box. Got the axe here. Again, continuing with this Kong, I like that the head moves, the beard's pretty defined here. Everything's really good. It's everything we've come to know and love. I really like the texturing here on the back. Again, he's just got this really strong muscular look, this physique that I really like. They do this interesting thing with the eye slits again where they're only partially orange. I don't understand that, but it's fine. And then the battle axe itself is actually really well done. It's got the nice bone look. You can tell it's a bone. It's got this really good Godzilla skin wrap here, and then the actual axe itself, the blade, looks pretty sweet. So this is another pretty good one. Comparing him to his other weapon wielding self, they've got different poses, so it's not a reskin. Although interestingly, he doesn't have the scars on the chest, so I guess this takes place earlier in the movie when he finds the axe. They do hold their weapons in different hands. I wonder if he does that in the movie. Interesting that he's not like preferring one hand or the other. Maybe he's just ambidextric. I don't think I said that word right. So here you go, another good Kong. And then finally, the horrifying looking Mechagodzilla with this freaky looking face sculpt that was the thing of nightmares when it leaked. So there's Mechagodzilla. You can see him on the top, on the side, and then there, and then of course on the back. Maybe I'm just hallucinating because it's Mechagodzilla, but he does feel a little harder. He's much harder actually than the other ones. But this is a really well done one. Aside from the face sculpt, which again is a little laughable because it's kind of ridiculously aggressive. It's just this like very aggressive turtle looking face, which is actually accurate to the movie, but it just looks a little silly. He's also got this weird pose where his arms stuck out to the side. I think it's supposed to be because he's charging up an energy attack, but it just looks a little strange. But this is a very, very well done one. It's by far the most detailed, with lots of really great detailing throughout, even on the bottom of the tail here. The tip of the tail is also very well done. You've got the red running up the dorsal spine, something that not everybody adds on their toys. And then just lots of really good texturing here and really good detailing. You've even got the X patterns on the legs. It all looks really wonderful. This nice chest piece, and even in the inside of the mouth, you can see that there's texturing on the inside of the mouth, both on the top and bottom. And then on the face, he looks really cool as well. So although it's kind of not got a lot going on in the paint, it is this really nice metallic glossy silver paint, very much like what you see in the movie. Obviously, there's not much to the paint job other than that, so it's very much about the sculpt here. And the sculpt is wonderful, very detailed, and really, really good. Here's the trio standing off against each other. Pretty sweet. And there they are up close. Nice. So that'll do it for this one, guys. It was just a nice little look unboxing, not really a review, but a nice little unboxing of each Funko Pop. If you're into Funkos, I definitely recommend them. These three are my personal favorites. I think the Battle Scarred Kong is really cool, plus the crane is a really nice little accessory. Mechagodzilla, obviously, because he's just like the only Mechagodzilla aside from a very expensive variant that I know they produced that I don't think I'm going to track down that's like glow in the dark. And then the Godzilla with the atomic breath, just because it's a little more unique than most Funko Pops. So those are my recommendations to you guys. I want to give a huge thank you to all my patrons on Patreon. It really goes a long way towards supporting the channel. If you want to join the Patreon, you can get early access to content, access to the Discord community, your name in the end credits like these fine gentlemen, and you can even request videos. So go check that out using the description below. Plus, it just goes a really long way towards keeping these videos possible and making it so that I can keep making videos like this for you. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time in the next one. D-Man, out.